Cody is definitely top talent. And he's ready. I mean, great shape, hell of a worker, third generation. He's ready and he's hungry. So I would, when he keeps pointing to that sign every week, and when he steps in that ring at WrestleMania, I'm sure he's going to be ready.
Would you say the current roster of talents for a man who's seen it all, do you think it measures up to when, Hulkamania was running wild or when we had the Texas rattlesnake? How does the current generation measure up?
It's that's a good question. I'd say there's just there was so much more flamboyant talent back in the '80s and the '90s. It just to me it just came natural. You got a lot of the guys in the business now, second and third generation, which they had wrestling in their blood. There's the Rotundos, the Bray Wyatts, the Roman Reigns, and a lot of these guys that come in from second and third generations. It's they already got a head start, but um, overall in the overall roster, I'd say we had a lineup from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, and when the IC title meant something, tag team titles really meant something, and the heavyweight championship title meant something. And you had a great show all the way through from A to the Z, whether it was Honky Tonk Man or Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and so much talent throughout the card until you got to the main event with the Hulk Hogan's and the Andre the Giants, the Big John Studs, and so many more. Undertaker. It just you had a card all the way through, and especially in the late '90s, 2000s, and during the Attitude Era. You had phenomenal talent. You had The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and look what he did when he veered off into the Rockers and Marty Jannetty, and he veered off to be a superstar on his own. He was the showstopper for many years. He had the Chris Benoit's, the Eddie Guerreros, and I mean the list just goes on and on. So the overall, the roster, I'd say it had to be stout in the '90s and 2000s, early 2000s, more than it is today.
Where do you think wrestling lost its way and lost its charm, so to speak?
Um, I think it could have been when the company went public. WWF, WWE went public, and you were limited to doing a lot of things. I'd like to see them kind of bring back, and it's somewhat like AEW brings back the Attitude Era, with the blood and so forth, and just more dangerous stuff. But I think it's maybe when a company went public, you have to listen to too many companies, your shareholders. You have to be worried about what you're putting out there. If you're promoting your show to China, they may not want to see blood on their television. They don't want to see blood in this country on television, on the telly. So I mean, you're limited to certain things when you do. Because I remember, like, late in my career, last so many years, we had to watch. Nobody, if there was blood in the ring, we had to stop the match. We had to make sure somebody got stitched up or glued up on, and so forth. So I mean, it made a change a little bit. I think maybe when the company went public a little bit, and it goes in cycles. Like it'll be so many years. Like you had the Bruno Sammartinos, you had the Andre the Giants. The Andre the Giants passes the torch to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan passes that torch to The Rock. The Rock took the torch and he went to Hollywood. So that I mean, and then after that, you had the John Cena run for many years, and he held on the company strong and for 10 or 12 years at least. And now you got the Roman Reigns run. So
You mentioned AEW. You had a chance to work for Tony Khan as well. How different is he from Vince McMahon?
yeah, that's completely different. Yeah, it's a completely different story. Tony Khan is a great guy, and he's running the company great. I mean, every company's going to have problems and bits, and especially with your talent or and so forth. There's going to be glitches in there and stuff. But I mean, Tony Khan is doing a phenomenal job. But you got to give a lot of credit to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes going in there with Tony Khan, with the backing of Tony Khan. And look what Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan did together, as far as starting. And this is why Cody's back where he's at today, I'm sure, because, the company said, wow, we let go Cody Rhodes, and they didn't kind of do him right on his first run for many years, Cody, and then look what he did for himself, so, kudos to Cody Rhodes, and, where he's at now, and it's great to see Cody where he's at now in the WWE, finally getting his push that he finally deserves.
I have one final question based on what you just told me. The marquee event at WrestleMania is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. You spoke about passing the torch. Do you think Cody Rhodes is ready to pick up that torch and carry it forward?
Man, I wouldn't wait too much longer. I mean, Cody's ready. He's hungry. He is hungry to get that torch. And I hate to see if they don't give it to him. I like to see him give it to him. Roman's had a hell of a run running the company, and he's had a hell of a streak. 400 and something days or whatever. The record is there. So I mean, Cody is definitely top talent, and he's ready. I mean, great shape, hell of a worker, third generation. I mean, he's ready and he's hungry. So I would, when he keeps pointing to that sign every week, and when he steps in that ring at WrestleMania, I'm sure he's going to be ready.
Absolutely. Mr. Mike Chioda, could you tell our viewers about the mailbag that you do for Adfreeshows and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. With Paul Bromwell, he's the host of the show. I'm the host of the show, and takes care of me, man. And we do it every other Monday for Adfreeshows. We've been doing it for a little about 2.5 years now. And Paul and I have just a great chemistry. And, like when I was released and everything, and then the pandemic hit and everything everywhere, Conrad Thompson called me up 2.5 years ago, just about, and he said, hey, we'd like you to be on our show and do some podcasts for us. And we do watch alongs like once a month or once every other month. And it's been a lot of fun. I was so green to it. I was like, podcasts. I'm like, what? People want to hear what? People want to hear my stories? I'm thinking. So we have a lot of fun, man. We talk wrestling, food, sports, everything. So just a lot of fun. And Paul's helped me out with that, man, a lot. So he's coached me through it. He made me feel real comfortable, and we have a connection together. So it's been awesome.